So CFP, give us a definition of that. What do you guys do day in and day out? Same with CPA.
So a CFP is a certified financial planner, and to kind of draw the parallel, I think a lot more people are familiar with the CPA designations. So there are people that can prepare taxes that aren't a CPA, but all CPAs can prepare taxes, and that's a very similar analogy in the financial planning profession. So as a certified financial planner, we meet a rigorous ethical standard, an educational standard, and an experience standard. So all certified financial planners can call themselves financial planners. If you see someone that calls themselves a financial planner, they may not be a financial planner. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but that's the biggest thing is what we do is we focus on the totality of your financial plan, personally and professionally, lead with planning, which then drives the results and solutions that we want to obtain, rather than just trying to sell you something.
Excellent. Same on your end.
You said it best. I mean,
You mean to steer your thunder. Sorry about that.
No, but that's fine. As a CPA, I had to complete my college courses and then take a test that lasts 3 days in order to get the CPA designation. There are accountants out there who are not necessarily CPAs. I'm not going to say anything bad about them, but as a CPA, I have to take continuing education classes every year, 40 credits a year of continuing education, just to keep on top of anything that has changed in the industry. Somebody who's not a CPA may not have to take may not take classes. They're not required to. But again, there are accountants out there without the CPA designation that do a good job doing taxes, but they can't necessarily do financial statements in certain states.
And I would you brought up a good point, Gary, that I would emphasize as well. As you're evaluating a relationship with an advisor, ask them if they're a fiduciary. Ask them if they're a certified financial planner. Because mine wasn't 3 days long, mine was only a day-long exam, but there are certain requirements that we need to make in order to serve our clients well, and I'm a big believer in that standard as well as the CPA standard.
So what does the average client and relationship look like with you guys? What is it that you're primarily doing for them day in and day out? And how do they compensate you? I think a lot of people don't understand that. Is it expensive? Is it inexpensive? What's the ROI on it? So what do you do? How do they form that relationship financially with you? And what do you bring to them?
So I always lead with cost becomes apparent in the absence of value. And so my intention is always to provide in excess of value in return for what they're compensating us for our services. We are a professional service organization. So we don't sell product. We don't make money on commissions. Much as the ODs that are here and the ODs that are watching, you are paid for your professional services, for your intellectual property. That's the exact same way that we're compensated. We're compensated for our time, for our expertise, and for the plan that we deliver. I always tell clients, we work on a fee relationship that can be a combination of a flat financial planning fee and or a percent of assets under management if we're in the capacity of acting as an investment advisor, a portfolio manager for our clients' assets. So I'll use this get out of jail free card a couple of times here today probably, but I'll end with it depends. But at the end of the day, the important thing to know is that our only compensation comes from the client. It can come from different channels, but it only comes from us.
Got it.
It's the same thing for a CPA as it is for a CFP. We get paid either by the hour or a flat fee, depending on the particular client. But it is a payment for services. Just the same way I wouldn't examine my own eyes, you shouldn't examine your own financial health without the help of a CPA, nor should you perhaps get involved in a tax situation that's way over your head. You have to go to a professional for that kind of help.
Yeah, and I to kind of play off what Gary said as well, my wife would say this when she would, in the first year or so after graduating in private practice, and I'm sure ODs out there have heard it as well. You've had a patient in the chair, and after the exam, they pay for the services, and a comment comes along, my exam only took me 6 minutes. It's how much for my exam? That didn't take that long. Why is that worth it? It's like, no, your exam might have been 6 minutes, but it took me 8 years of education and a residency for it to take 6 minutes and give you the right answer the first time, rather than Googling it or getting an app or doing some kind of online service. I know we're all battling that in various or in respected professions. Technology and the internet has radically changed the way in which we conduct business. So our ability to demonstrate value, the bar's been raised significantly. So, it's the same thing in my profession and Gary's profession. You're not paying us to push buttons and to print out pieces of paper. You're paying us and investing in our services to push the right buttons the first time and save you the time and energy. Everything that we do collectively, is public knowledge. I don't have some magic sauce, some magic investment formula that can guarantee you X rate of return that anybody else has. Everything that I do is public knowledge, but do you have the time, do you have the energy, do you have the expertise to find out which knowledge is applicable to your situation and then implement it and have someone hold you accountable to make sure that you execute on it?
And in addition to that, just because we have the knowledge, I like to share the knowledge with my clients. If an issue comes up, I want to explain to them exactly what they're looking at so that they don't think it's a 3-minute eye exam that costs them $100.